In the previous video, we looked at the parameters and presets. Next, we'll examine thresholds and look in depth at the actions. If you need your own values, you can click on Add Custom Threshold. For example, if you want to take action based on flows per second, and you're looking to catch a rogue host, you would choose Source Level to measure on a per host basis. And for this same example, you'd probably want to pick All for IP protocol. As soon as you selected the metric, you may have noticed the min and max labels change to custom. For the standard DOS feature, this is your only choice, to manually set a threshold percentage value. For the advanced DOS feature, where you have the AS or DTD license, and you have enabled baseline learning, you'll have baseline as an additional choice. For all metrics, this value is a percentage of the appliance total flow capacity. So depending on which model of EdgeConnect this policy is applied to, 1% could represent 2,560 flows on a smaller 256,000 flow model, or 20,000 on a 2 million flow platform. The effect of this threshold value also depends on how aggressive your configured actions are, whether it's just a log action, or more impacting like drop XS or blocking the source. By the way, for flows per second, this is also calculated as a percentage of the appliance total flow capacity, which is why the percentage values in the presets are very small. The action that will be taken is applied to the min value threshold and the max value threshold. The min value is the point at which you want to start taking action. This is something above the normal baseline, so you would want to take care setting this value to avoid false positives. Baseline learning can do this for you automatically. You can find more information about baseline learning in our security guide. Search EdgeConnect Security Guide and look from page 72. The max value is the point at which the conditions are no longer acceptable and more extreme measures are required. You can choose to apply the following actions to excess flows beyond the defined threshold levels. Log the event to a syslog server to track threshold breaches, either for specific source IPs or for an entire zone. No further action is taken. Rapid aging. Excess flows are aged out quickly to minimize disruption. The duration can be set separately under advanced settings, from between 15 to 45 seconds, and the default duration is 20 seconds. Drop XS. Excess flows are dropped to prevent network overload and ensure service continuity. Block source. All flows from a source IP can be temporarily blocked from that IP for a default duration of 900 seconds, configurable under advanced settings. And for embryonic two-way flows, there are two additional options available. SYN cookie effectively mitigates SYN flood attacks, ensuring the uninterrupted availability and integrity of network services without compromising system performance. Smart SYN cookie uses IP reputation to determine whether to respond with a SYN cookie or blacklist the source IP. In the lenient preset, you can see that the source level concurrent flows is set to log when a single source IP takes 3% of the appliance capacity, and when it reaches 4%, excess flows over 4% will start being dropped. At a small branch site with an EC 10.10.4, this would mean a single client has generated 7,680 flows concurrently to trigger a log event, and at 10,240 flows, further flows would be dropped. At a hub location with a larger 2 million flow model, this would mean a single client now has to generate 60,000 flows before a log is generated, and it would take over 80,000 flows before excess flows would be dropped from that source IP. For these reasons, you may wish to create profiles based on the model class, branch, or hub. Embryonic flows are treated more harshly, as you would expect. Just 1.4%, which is roughly 3,500 half-open flows from a single source IP, triggers rapid aging to begin to protect the appliance. The percentage thresholds are higher at zone level, since we are measuring now the entire zone as one entity, which could be just a few or many thousands of hosts. If the concurrent flows reaches 25% of appliance capacity, rapid aging begins, and once 50% is reached, excess flows are dropped. If you have a single zone on the LAN side, you'll need a custom threshold to raise the max value for zone-level concurrent flows to prevent reaching an artificial flow limit for the appliance or site. If you have more than one LAN side zone, ensure you have considered the maximum expected flows per zone, and that your zone-level concurrent flows would accommodate them. As you increase the preset to moderate, the same actions are taken, but the thresholds are slightly lower, which means the protections start taking effect at lower levels of network activity. Strict mode thresholds are even lower still, and rapid aging is implemented straight away from crossing the minimum threshold. It also applies the drop excess action to flows across nearly all metric types from the max value thresholds. Let's look a little deeper into setting those thresholds, because if you don't have baseline learning enabled, you will need to set this manually. This only applies to the concurrent flows metric, as that percentage may be different for your network. All other metrics are typically suitable for all environments and deployments. Coming up with a suitable concurrent flows threshold value will require some knowledge about your usual network activity and what normal traffic levels look like. If the min-max thresholds are too low, at best you may get lots of false positive log entries, or at worst, you could prematurely begin dropping excess flows. It all depends on how you set up your thresholds and which actions you choose. If you just want to log, the default presets are probably going to be fine. If you want to take punitive actions like dropping and blocking, you may just want to log for a while first to get a feeling for how well the thresholds are working. Thankfully, the orchestrator provides some useful reports to help you. The best place to look is monitoring appliance trends. You can run it against all appliances, specific groups, or any combination you select in the appliance tree. We'd suggest running this report against branch locations and then again separately for hub or data center locations. Choose Custom and select the last month or even longer. Set data granularity to Daily. This will give you a smooth graph representing the baseline, including normal spikes in usage. Take care to avoid running this report during a time period you know may have had unusual traffic, as it may skew the results from your usual baseline. This information may help you when considering what min and max value thresholds to set for a custom concurrent flows metric. Next up, we'll look at how to apply the profiles to zones.